I welcome you all in this video. This is my fifth lectures in the superconductivity. So today I'll be discussing about the BCS theory of the superconductivity. So what is BCS? The full form of the BCS is this is according to the name of the three scientists, Bardeen, Cooper, and Schaefer. So this theory was given in the 1957. The theory, it was consider only the problem of the two electrons. We are considering problem of two electrons because between two electrons always either two electrons carry the similar charge, so there will be repulsion, so they cannot attract with one another. So the attractive interaction uh, between two electrons, it is too weak to bind them if they are in isolation. So in presence of the Fermi sphere, the addition of the electrons by considering the exclusion principle, we can alter the two electron problem so that the two electrons, it forms a bound state. The two electrons, it form a bound state by considering the Pauli exclusion principle. So that we will discuss in this figure how these two electrons, it forms the bound state. In this figure, this is electron 1 and this is electron 2. This is electron 1 and this is electron 2. So the electron 1 is moving with the velocity v1 and electron 2 is moving with the velocity v2 in the opposite direction. But the electron is surrounded by the positive ions. So these ions are being attracted by this electron 1. So as a result, electron 2 could not feel that any kind of the repulsive force from the electron 1. So this lattice, it vibrates in its own position as it is being distorted from its, because of the attraction by the electron 1, it is being displaced from its own position. So the oscillation takes place and they will produce a sound wave, and that sound wave, when it is being quantized, that is known as the phonons. Phonons are the quantized energy of the sound vibration. Quantized energy of sound vibration, it is the quantized energy of the sound vibration. So what happens, these two electrons having the equal and opposite momentum. So one is wave vector k, another is wave vector minus k, and one is spin up, another is spin down, then they form the bound state. So this is a pair, it forms the two electrons having equal and opposite momentum, and their spins are also opposite, then they form the bound state. But this bound state, it is formed via the phonon. So via the phonon. So phonon has the responsibility to produce this bound state. So what happens, how the wave vector gets changed when the lattice vibration takes place? So that I will understand by drawing the Feynman diagram. Suppose you have the two electrons k1 and k2. So vector this is k1 and its wave vector is k2. So when the vibration takes place, lattice vibration takes place, the wave vector k1, it changes to, by emitting a phonon, it changes to k1 minus q, and k2 changes to, the wave vector changes k2 plus q, and this is via through the phonon exchange. This is known as the Feynman diagram. Feynman diagram, or it is known as the Froelich interaction. So what happens in this case, two electrons having the wave vector k1 and k2, they attract one another, or they form the bound state via this phonon exchange. Mediator is the phonon. So the first electron, it emits the virtual phonon, so its wave vector get changed by k1 minus q, and the second vector k2, it absorbs the virtual phonon and it changes to K2 plus Q, and these two it forms the bound state. This is the virtual phonon. So there is a emission of phonon and there is a absorption of the, there is emission of phonon and absorption of the phonon. So these phonons have very short lifetime. According to Heisenberg uncertainty principle, these virtual phonons, they have very short lifetime. But these virtual phonons, they are responsible for producing this bound state in case of the two electrons. So the Cooper argument applies only for the single pair of electrons. Single pair of electrons. And that is in presence of single pair of electrons, in presence of normal Fermi distribution of velocities. Fermi distribution of additional electrons. So we consider this Fermi distribution to understand how the single pair of electrons it forms the bound state. But the BCS, that was idea was given by the Cooper, but BCS theory says that how this it forms the ground state in which all electrons which form the bound pairs. So our interest is to construct the BCS theory told to form the ground state from all electrons which form the bound pairs, bound states. Okay, so what do we do? So we considered a bound state wave function, bound state wave function, and let us take this bound state wave function, that is psi, and we have the n electrons, and each electron is having position and spin. So like this way we have R n minus 1, S n minus 1, then R n and S n. This is our bound state wave function for the BCS theory. Then how it could be written? It could be written in terms of the bound pair wave functions. So suppose we have the if it is a n electrons, suppose n conduction electron is there, so there will be n by 2 pair, and each pair will be represented by the bound state. If we have the n conduction electron, and then it will form the n by 2 pair bound state. So for the n electron, the wave function is this. So first pair is number 1 bound state, it will be phi R1S1 and R2S2. This is the first pair bound state wave function. Then it will go for the another, we will get another pair, then suppose it is 1 2, then it is 3 4, then 5 6, like this way every pair there is a bound state wave function. So it will go on, and phi R n minus 1, S n minus 1, then R n and S n. So every bound state, every pair bound state, it has the position and the spin, So it is a product of these two, a product of n by 2 pairs bound state, that will form the bound state wave functions. So all electrons are bound in pairs, and these are the identical two electron state. They are the identical 2 electron state. This is identical to electron state. So but what is the problem in this case? The problem is it does not obey the display the symmetry required by the Pauli exclusion principle. Pauli exclusion principle. So what it says that two electrons, it cannot be in the same spin, means it will always have to be one spin up then another spin down. So as a result the total spin becomes 0. So it will form the singlet state, that is 2s plus 1. So 2 into 0 plus 1, 1. So it will form one singlet state. If the spins becomes 2 spins becomes up, so it becomes half plus 1. So as a result s becomes 1, and 2s plus 1 it becomes 2 into 1 plus 1. So it becomes 3. Even the 2 spins it goes to the down state like this, then also we get the total number of the spins, or the total number of the states because of this spin. So we get the 3. So we do not require these spins. It should be, the spins should be opposite. So as a result we get the singlet state. So that will obey the Pauli exclusion principle. So in this case the Pauli exclusion principle is not obeyed. So it does not display the symmetry. So to construct such a state, we anti-symmetrize this wave function. So when we anti-symmetrize the wave functions, so the wave function of the BCS theory, psi BCS, that is we construct a state that is equal to anti-symmetrize multiple anti-symmetry operator into this wave functions. So here anti-symmetry say A, it simply adds to the function and it adds up to n minus 1 factorial other functions by all possible permutation. This is permutation and is constructed out of even or odd number of pair exchanges. So this is the one can say that this is the permutation operators. So we anti-symmetrize this. As a result, what do we get? It obey the Pauli exclusion principle. So its value is plus and minus up. It takes care of the Pauli exclusion principle, that is plus up and minus spin of the electron, plus up and minus up, that is being taken care of by the antisymmetric operator, that is the permutation operator. So then we talk about this. So the BCS theory, we consider the pair wave functions. In BCS theory, we consider the pair wave functions. Pair wave functions phi are taken to be singlet state. So where we take the plus up and minus up, as a result 2s plus 1, it becomes 1, s equal to 0. So s equal to 0, it will be only when spin is plus up and minus up. So in BCS theory, the Pauli exclusion principle is also taken care of by anti-symmetrizing the pair wave functions. So the pair state, it is translationally invariant. and we ignore all the periodic potential of the lattice. Periodic potential of lattice, it is not being considered, it is discarded, it is ignored. So it is ignored. So what do we get? We get a wave function. Since there are the two electrons, so we get chi r minus r prime, which is equal to 1 by v volume. Then we have the chi k, and we have one wave function I k dot r. For another electron, it is your minus I k dot r prime, and for all k electrons, summation of the all wave vectors. So summation of the k. So this psi BCS, this wave functions in the BCS theory, this wave function, it has a special range that is eta naught of the pair wave function. So this eta naught, this special range, it always greater than the RS, where RS is the spacing between the electrons. So for this we find out the spread in momentum for electron 1. The spread in momentum of one electron level, the spread in momentum or momenta in one electron level, making up pair state, is fixed by the condition, that is delta, the change in energy, that is written change in energy, and this delta E equal to p square by 2m, which is equal to, if you find out the derivative of the p, because mass is constant, so it is becomes p by m into delta p, and this is pf, which is the Fermi momentum, or it is almost equal to this Fermi momentum by mass, it is Fermi velocity into change in momentum del p. So the special range of the this wave function, special range of phi r, that is equal to eta 0, which is equal to, if we apply the Heisenberg uncertainty relation, so that is h by delta p, and that is equal to this we can add on from this delta p equal to del divided by vf, so we can add on that the h into vf divided by delta, or it is almost equal to, in terms of the Fermi wave vector, kf, and this is ef divided by delta. So this special range, when the bound state is when the two electrons come close to each other, the bound state is formed, and their special range in terms of the Fermi energy and kf and the change in energy, that is the difference of the energy between the ground state and the lowest excited state. So if we put this value, if you take the value as the EF, Fermi energy, is almost in the order of the 10 to the power 3 to 10 to the power 3 times delta, and if we take the Fermi wave vector kF, जो 10 to the power 8 per centimeter, and then eta 0 it comes out to be, that is 10 to the power 3 angstrom. This is 10 to the power 3 angstrom. So this is within the region, within this region which is occupied by any given pair, it will be found, and will be getting, there will be many pairs which will be in the superconducting state. So and so many pairs are there which is having 10 to the power 3 angstrom. Within this region there will be so many pairs which will be in the superconducting state. So what happens, how do we know about this delta? If we plot a graph of the, in the Fermi-Dirac distribution, if we plot a graph of the energy versus the occupation probability, then if it is 0.5, it is 1, and then what we get, that the graph goes like this. If you increase the energy, then the probability, it remains constant, it remains 1, then gradually it decreases like this. So this is the point at which the Fermi energy, the maximum probability is there at EF. But we are considering only two states, below EF and above there. And below EF it is the ground state, and above EF it is considered to be the the lowest excited state. This is the lowest excited state, and this is the ground state, and the difference of these two, that is 2 delta. That is equal to 2 delta. Or even if we plot a graph of the density of states where there is a Fermi energy, then also we get this 2 delta. So that is our consideration, and this is the most important parameter which has the relation to the thermodynamic property, as well as the resistivity of the material, and all the facts related to the this superconductivity could be explained in terms of the 2 delta. Thank you.